Have you ever noticed that the smartest, most capable people seem to stay invisible the longest? And have you ever caught yourself saying, I'm almost ready, but first... Welcome to Biz Success at 15. I'm Cindy J, the Visibility Wiz. And when you give me 15 minutes, you'll get one story, one 15-minute action step, and visibility that leads to influence and more profits. Today, we're talking about the almost ready trap. This isn't about people who are just beginning. It's about really smart, capable people that have honed their crafts. They're prepared and they care about doing things perfectly well. Almost ready can feel responsible. It's the right thing to do. I don't want to jump out there before I'm ready. I don't want to jump in the swimming pool before I can swim, right? But what typically happens if we jump in the pool and we can't swim? We all know the answer to that one. Being almost ready sounds like integrity. Seems like the smart thing to do. And it sounds like it's the right thing to do for your community. But really and truly, it hides. It hides preparation. It hides being ready because you have this fear of being seen. So it's this push, a shove. You want to be seen, but you have this fear of being seen. So you prepare and prepare and prepare because you're almost ready. So let me tell you the story of three entrepreneurs. First, there's Emma. Emma believed that infrastructure had to be finished before she could get a client. She worked hard to get her business license, to get her coaching certifications and everything else that she needed. She had to wait till she got the right notifications from the government so she could open up a checking account with her business name. She paid big money for somebody to build a website for her. And all of this took a lot of time because she was getting ready or almost ready. Because all of these things could have been done simultaneously as she was building her client list. I share a quick story with you about my son. He wanted to start his own business, but was sort of trapped in his 9-to-5. He broke his neck. He's recovered 100%, so that's fine. But he broke his neck and then he got fired. So he asked his doctor, can I start a business? Doctor thought he was nuts. The doctor's like, you can't do any hard work, but yeah, you can start your business as long as you're not doing any physical labor. Just like Emmett, he got his business license and his business name and his tax person. He got everything all set up, but he didn't wait. What he did was he went out, and at least once a week he was going to networking meetings where he would tell people, I am starting my own business. When the doctor releases me, do I have your permission to bid on one of your projects? He's a land surveyor. So after the doctor released him, he had a list of potential customers. And I always say, if he can do this in what I call the brick and mortar, he goes, I'm not brick and mortar, Mom, I'm service-based. But it's a little bit different because he was out there hustling what he did and finding potential clients. If he could do that, why can't you as an online business owner? And so many people skip this step, so they're not being prepared. They're being stuck in the almost ready, so they don't have to be visible. And then there's Charity. Charity was waiting for the sign. Charity is a real client of mine. I've changed her name for her protection. Charity is very spiritual, very gifted, and I absolutely loved working with Charity. One of the first things she goes, oh, the universe has just given me a great download that I have to do my website this certain way, and I'm going to offer that program and this program. And so we worked hard on this, and we got the website looking all beautiful. And she goes, I got another download. What we just did will no longer work, so I have to do something else. I worked with Charity for 1 year. She never once got a client because she was getting ready. She was constantly getting ready by rebuilding her website. And I believe that when we have divine guidance and we take action on it, that's whenever the clients flow. That's whenever our visibility flows. That's whenever we grow. But Charity was afraid to be visible. So she was hiding behind this website, constantly changing it because she was told to change it. And her business never got off the ground. And then there was Ron. And truthfully, a lot of us are a lot like Ron. We have to know more. As soon as I get this certification, then I'm going to just take off and I'm going to really do it. I have to go get this NLP certification. I have to get a coaching certification. I have to get a whatever certification. I have to go to school. I have to learn this. I have to do this. He was constantly buying programs, getting certificates, and growing personally. A lot of personal growth. And everybody can see the personal growth in Ron. But he kept saying, I can't do my business until I know this. And this is how a lot of us may show up with the almost ready trap. Just as getting your business stuff in order, the checking account and all that other good stuff, it's the same thing with your certifications. In order to have a successful business, you need to know your message, you need to know what you help people with, and you need to help them. You're never going to know everything above everybody else about everything. There's always going to be people to teach us, and there's always going to be people that we teach. One of the greatest statements that I ever heard, I use it a lot, and I don't even recall who I heard it from, was you are a 5th grader to some 3rd grader out there. We are helping people based on where we used to be, not where we want to be. And if we're always learning, we are robbing the people we're meant to help because we're not helping them. We're too busy learning. So constantly learning is definitely the almost ready trap. The reason that we fall into the almost ready trap is because we want more confidence. If you've been listening to some of my other podcasts, you know confidence is a huge thing. We want to be confident before, but we're never going to be confident before. Confidence is always after. Confidence does not precede anything. Nothing. We only gain confidence from action. We only grow and learn from action. When we write a blog post and it doesn't land with anybody, we know to change it. When we give a talk and people didn't resonate with us, we know to change it. When we do a video or a workshop or a webinar, we know where people start dropping off, so we know where to change it. And the more you do each of these things, the more confident you become as you build your business. Action is what gives us the results. And action is what gives us the feedback we need to continue to grow, to get more ready, to get more clients, to get more visible, to get more everything. It all starts with action, not from thinking harder, because clarity comes from movement. So know this, if this is you, it doesn't mean that you're lazy. It doesn't mean that you're behind. It does not mean that you're broken. You're just stuck in a loop of waiting, because waiting feels safer than deciding. You may have heard that once you decide, the rest is easy. Because once you decide to do something and you've made a solid commitment to yourself, you're going to learn and grow, and you're going to know what works and what doesn't work. If you're waiting to be ready, you're delaying your leadership. You're delaying your message. You're delaying your success. What are you robbing yourself of by delaying, by being almost ready. We all know that you're not helping the people you're meant to serve because you're almost ready. But also, what are you robbing yourself of? There's a saying that's so very true. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Every time you say no to something, you're saying yes to something else. So whenever you are saying, I am almost ready, and you're saying, yes, I'm almost ready, you're saying no to something else. Are you saying no to your next client? Are you saying no to being able to afford that new car you want? Are you saying no to moving to someplace that you want to move? What is it that you're saying no to? Because whenever you're almost ready, it doesn't only cost those that you're meant to serve, it's costing you too. Know that visibility does not mean that you're certain about everything. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. That's how you learn and you grow. Visibility just needs direction. It needs clarity. It needs consistency. So know that you don't need a perfect plan. You definitely don't need permission. You just need one clear decision, and that's to decide to do it. Decide to take action now and stop waiting to be almost ready. So here's your 15-minute growth challenge if you're brave enough to accept it, and only if it feels aligned with who you are. I want you to take 15 minutes, set your timer, 15 minutes, and ask yourself this one question. If I stopped waiting to be ready, what would my next action step be? If I stopped waiting to be ready, what would my next action step to be? After 15 minutes, you're going to have a list of action steps, and then what I want you to do is choose one of them and take action on it. That's it. This is how you stop being almost ready and you decide to take action today. And this matters because decisions create momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence comes after action. Leadership requires movement, and visibility grows when you stop delaying yourself. No, you don't have to be perfect. You don't need to commit forever, just 1 week or 1 day or 1 hour or sometimes even 1 minute. Just interrupt the pattern of being almost ready. Thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode of Biz Success in 15, where you'll get more stories, more action steps that lead to visibility, influence, and profits. Next week, we're going to be speaking about boundaries that build trust, why alignment creates more visibility than people-pleasing. And if you're still trying to figure out how visibility works for you, I have a resource, 7 Paths to Visibility. It helps you discover visibility that fits with who you are, your personality, your beliefs, and your values. You can download it at giftfromcindyj.com. Big hugs. Have a great week. Bye-bye.